Uh, Good afternoon. Yeah, it's 1 o'clock already. So we are here to talk about European projects, European initiatives, European centers for the promotion of Arabic literature. And together here with me, I have a friend, Khaled Raouf. We are waiting for Persa Komuchi, and we have Abdel, your name is a bit difficult. Abdullah, okay. So I will start by presenting my two speakers, and when Persa comes, we will talk about her great work as well, because Persa is very important for Arabic literature and its promotion. Khaled Raouf was born in Alexandria, Egypt. He studied theater, history, and archaeology at the University of Athens and followed theatrical studies both in Greece and the US. He studied Greek language and literary translation at the University of Athens and the Hellenic American Union. He holds a PhD in the history of classic art from the University of Chicago, with which he collaborates. He has worked as a university professor for some years. He is a professional translator of Greek literature into the Arabic. He has translated around 30 titles of major Greek writers into the Arabic, among which Nikos Kazantzakis, Yannis Ritsos, Stratis Tsirkas, Kosmas Politis, as well as works by contemporary Greek writers such as Dimitris Dimitriadis, Theodoros Grigoriardis, Persa Koumouchi, Ersis Sotiropoulos, Dimitris Sotakis, etc. He has translated from English into the Arabic language theatrical plays by George Bernard Shaw, Tennessee Williams, Samuel Beckett, which were staged in Egypt. He has received the Lifetime Achievement Award, an international award for translation, and international understanding of the Sheikh Hamad Institute in Qatar. He is a member of the Center of Greek and Arabic Literature and Culture, and he will talk to us about the great work of this center. Dr. Abdel Wahab Khalifa is an associate professor in translator and interpreting at Queen's University, Belfast. In addition to his work as professional translator and interpreter, his research interests include literary translation with a particular focus on Arabic literature. He has published extensively in the area, including notable contributions such as the Routledge Handbook of Arabic Translation and a comprehensive report on the translation of Arabic literature into English in the United Kingdom and Ireland, co-authored with Alexandra Buchler. And Persa, welcome. We are very, very happy to have you with us. I think the work of Persa is pioneering in introducing the Arabic literature in Greece and in Europe as well. So Persa is a literary translator and writer. She was born in Cairo, Egypt, moved to Greece following her studies at the University of Cairo. And ever since 1992, she translates Arabic literature. Her translation work amounts to over 40 works of Arabic titles, among them the laureate writer Naguib Mahfouz, 14 of his novels, as well as other distinguished authors. Her bibliography also includes 2 anthologies of contemporary Arabic poetry, both of which she was awarded the first translation award by the Translation for Literature Guild in Europe. Her translations of poetry amount to 300 poems. Among 600 now. She has received major awards and distinctions. Let me name a few. The International Cavafy Prize, honorary medals by the Egyptian Ministry of Education and Culture, the first Translation Guild Award in Greece for both the Anthology of Modern Greek Women's Poetry in 2022 and Contemporary Arabic Poetry in 2021. She collaborates with European universities in educational programs on multiculturalism and intercultural dialogue and understanding, and has written articles, critical text, and studies on literature as a means and as a vehicle for understanding the other. She is also a published author. She has written 9 novels that are pivoting around the history of the Hellenes in Egypt, the theme of identity and multiculturalism. For her last novel, she received an award by the Academy of Athens and has also participated in many collective publications' work. She has published literary articles, reviews, and short studies in 3 languages. She has initiated initiatives such as Leila, a project she will talk to us about, and the launching of the Center of Arabic and Greek and Literature and Culture is among her major achievements. In 2022, she initiated the first literary translation online courses for Arabic translation in Greek language under the auspices and in collaboration with the Εργαστήρι Γλώσσας και Πολιτικής of the Department of Language and Translation of the Ionian University. Currently, she has initiated a series of editions with more than 10 collections of anthologies of modern Arabic poetry. Persa, we are honored to have you here. We are glad to have you as well. So, let's start with Leila. Leila is a website that presents a choice of contemporary works by Arabic language literature to publishers who are interested in knowing more about this literature and publishing it in translation. Book selections are made by a panel of experts knowledgeable about the current publishing scene who understand the literary qualities that make books appealing to publishers and readers. The website presents books from a number of countries with information about the work, its author, and the rights holder. A number of translation samples are provided are research reports, resources for translation grants, cultural outlets, and more. Supported by the Creative Europe program, Leila is the first pan-European project that gives visibility to carefully selected titles, creating a network of literary professionals interested in promoting writing from the Arab world. We should also mention the Leila Manifesto, which was signed in December 2023, and refers to professional translators and scholars concerned with the translation of Arabic literature, safeguarding their rights, their right to work, and their non-exclusion due to political or ideological reasons. I think Persa is more knowledgeable in this field, so the stage is yours, Persa.
Thank you so much for your kind words. I'm delighted to be here. I haven't initiated Leila. I am a member jury among the first ones that collaborated with the project, and I'm very proud to be part of it because it's been 3 years now that we are working in this field to promote titles, both known and unknown, and not only basically in Europe as a whole, not only in Greece, but Greece is included. And as you mentioned, Leila created this comprehensive website that it is expanding, of course, provided we have funds, it will be also more expansive, on a number of writers that do not have enough visibility, or it cannot be heard or cannot be known. As you know, the Arab world is 22 languages, one language, 22 countries. Each country has a huge production of brilliant literature, and this cannot be seen easily by readers. It's not easy to explore. So this website facilitates this process to get to know more people through biographies, through their works, through their achievements, and also, as you mentioned, there are a lot of facilitations also and information for publishers to search and find out about grants and funds. This is very briefly on the Leila. It's a huge project. And we were expecting Olivia to be here to talk about it more thoroughly. I was not thoroughly prepared, but you have an idea. Yeah.
Can you tell us a few things about this manifesto? Because I think it's very...
Yes, the manifesto, I think, is one of the most important elements of the Leila project, because it was written and signed during the war, the Palestinian war, and especially when Palestinian writers were excluded, and even translators were excluded from international happenings and events that were around Europe. Mm-hmm. So we thought that this is very important, to write down a manifesto to protect, to state our demands, to state the demands first, that we should all be treated equally, because the jury is composed of very distinguished academicians that even though they had faced problems at their universities. Mm-hmm. So this manifesto is a kind of statement, a very strong statement that protects both academicians, and writers, and also translators who deal with Arabic literature, especially of this area that is traumatized severely and maybe irreparably.
Okay. Another important project running is Dalil, which is the first online index of Arabic literature that has been translated into world languages. This expansive and easily accessible online bibliography is designed to fill a significant gap in the availability of tools that provide comprehensive information on Arabic literature translation. The platform offers detailed insights into translation flows from Arabic into other languages, including data on translation production, circulation, and trends, as well as information about key agents involved, such as authors, translators, publishers, editors, and literary agents. Additionally, Al-Dalil provides up-to-date information on Arabic literary translation initiatives, including translation project prices, resources, news, and events. And now, Abdel, you can make a more extensive presentation of the importance of this project.
Well, thank you so much, Kalispera Sas. It's an absolute pleasure being here, first of all. Very grateful for the invitation, but also even more so that I'm sharing the stage with really lovely people. Athena, of course, but Khalid and Persa. They are not just colleagues. To me, they are more like family, and I do mean that. So it's such a pleasure to be sharing the stage with them. And I feel that I cannot continue with business as usual, so I need to acknowledge the devastating loss of life and what is going on in the Middle East. I cannot start without doing that. Something that I know weighs heavily on many of our hearts. I can only hope for immediate ceasefire, and more importantly, justice and long-lasting peace. And with this note, I can move on to talk about Ad-Dalil. So, as Athena just said, Ad-Dalil is an online bibliography and index of translated Arabic literature. This is something that has not happened before. It's an idea that came to me as a PhD student trying to find what has been translated from Arabic into English and then into other languages. I couldn't find many resources out there which kind of motivated me to do this. The motivation is to increase the discoverability, but also the visibility of Arabic literature to those that do not know about it. So imagine a Greek reader that does not know Arabic, and they want to discover that part of the world. The only way to know this, about this part of the world, is via translation. So we have a lovely verse in the Quran that says, "O mankind, we have created you into different genders and divided you into nations and tribes so that you may know one another." And I think that translation facilitates just that, knowing each other. And I think the translators are the messengers that deliver that message, if you like, about different nations. So we wouldn't have been there without, you know, the great work of translators such as Persa and Khalid. Right, so I prepared a little presentation. I'll be quite brief. So this is a live demo from the website. Hopefully you can see it. So the website is in the beta phase, and beta phase means that we have now tested the technology. We know that it does actually work, but we are trying to see if there are any errors in the process. So we work on the assumption that I do not know all world languages. So there is a way of crowdsourcing. So anyone that has a phone, a book ISBN, can go into the website and actually contribute an entry. So they can submit the entry so that the bibliography is as comprehensive as possible. And this is how you do it. So you put the ISBN in here. Hopefully you can see. I was hoping for a bigger screen, but hopefully that will do. If there is no ISBN, so basically you can import the data using the ISBN. If it's an old book, there is no ISBN, you can add the details manually. And there are two versions of the form. One is detailed and one is short. The short one has the metadata that we really require to produce robust statistics about what is being translated from Arabic literature. And the detailed form has a bit more information than this. And you have a directory here of authors, translators, and everything. But let me show you a very cool feature. Since Persa is here, she translated a lot of Mahfouza's works. If you write Gabalawi, which is one of his, Awlat Haritna is one of the novels, you can find the translation, you can buy it, but also you can find all the other editions into the same language, which is English. You can find the other translations into all world languages, so other editions. And then if you go down, if the work has been retranslated, you get the retranslation as well. And then you get all the metadata about the book in one page. Everything is linked. If you want to read it in a library, there is a link for you to WorldCat. It tells you where's the nearest library when you can find the actual book. And you can find the latest entries here. Now we have Greek ones. We haven't pushed all the data from the back end to the front end just yet. But you can find directories, as I said, of authors, translators, editors. Now we have included agents in there as well. And there is a number of initiatives. Anything related to Arabic literature, there is information about it in there. So the Layla project is a bit different, actually very different from this, in the sense of Layla, they try to find books that are worthy of being translated. So there is the judges, the jury, they sit down, they find the books, and then they suggest these books on the platform to the publishers to translate and then publish. Al-Dalil is the step. So if that is the future, yeah, I am the past, present, and the future as well. So you have everything about what has been translated before. You get a picture of what is happening now, but also stuff related to genres, because what we do is this. We use Google Analytics to try and find the psychology of the reader. So via the website, you can trace what people view. So I can find, for instance, the Greek reader, what kind of genres they are interested in via the website, via the clicks that they do on the website. And then I can tell that to the publishers. Hey, your people actually are interested in this genre. This is what we need for them, okay? Or in this author, or the works of such translator. But also, this is a snippet view from the back end. If any researcher or a student wants the data about translated Arabic literature into their language, say Spanish, for instance, one of the things that we can do is that we can export all the data as an Excel sheet. And then that student can take it, or a researcher can take the data and do whatever they want with it. And the website does its own statistics. This is just part of the statistics. Each of these would have subcategories within each. So authors, you will have different stuff within that. And a very cool feature is, if any of you has a bibliography of translated Arabic works into your own language, we can import the data into the bibliography via a few clicks. So we upload the Excel sheet to the bibliography, and it automatically populates everything via the use of AI and other things, and then it gets moderated by us, human beings. And then it automatically feeds into the bibliography to try and make it as comprehensive as possible. And that's pretty much it. I hope that you will contribute to it. Feel free to explore it. Feel free to discover about Arabic literature. We have a lot more than the newsworthy stuff about what is happening in the Middle East. We have such rich literature, such rich culture, and I hope that you go and explore it for yourself via the use of literature and websites like Layla and Adali. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Abdel. And I think that before proceeding with Kelalp and its significant work, I would like to ask Khaled, because it's an issue we have discussed many times, about the challenges of introducing Arabic literature into European countries. Are there barriers to be overcome? Are there challenges to be met?
Hi. It's nice to be here. Thank you for coming. Thanks, Athena. And I'm so happy to share the stage as well with Athena, Abdulwahab, and Persa. They are all, friends, and I really deeply admire their work. Thanks, Abdulwahab, for this beautiful presentation. It's very useful, and I hope everybody will use it. And I think it's gonna add a lot to, serving the Arabic literature, the Arabic culture in general. Well, speaking of Kelalp, of course, was founded by Persa, and me and Persa, we collaborate before Kelalp. I mean, since we met, first of all, I feel like I know Persa all my life. Though, yeah. In the beginning, I was her translator. She wrote a beautiful book about Naguib Mahfouz, a novel. Of course, I knew her before as a translator because I studied in Greece, and I was always, watching her translations in libraries. I was a hidden admirer, But she actually inspired me to be a translator. One of the reasons that I'm a translator, that I wanted to, translate Greek literature into Arabic, is Persa. So I always tell her, ευχαριστώ που υπάρχεις,
So thank you for existing.
Oh, seriously. But when we started, cooperating, writer and translator, we just clicked right away. And I think we talk almost every day. We work together since then. It was like 2012, right? So more than 10 years. She's my dearest friend now, my dearest colleague, and I'm honored to be part of anything that she does. So when she founded Kelalp, we started with doing, because Persa and I are very much interested in the cultural dialogue. I always say that I'm a servant of Greek culture, and especially Greek literature, and of course Arabic literature. And because we, whatever, she translates Arabic literature into Greek, I do the opposite in Arabic. And we do help each other in that as well. I we discuss about books that should be translated, about books she's interested in translating. I may suggest some titles for her, even, selection of poems. And of course, she's a great translator. And what she does for, the Arabic literature is something that I can't begin, to describe. It's really amazing. And if I achieve half of what she did, I'd be very happy, But we started, doing some Zoom meetings and events, it was like 1,000 meeting a meeting. It's like 1,001 night. We would bring, like two poets or writers from the Arab world and two from Greece or Cyprus. We'll translate, some of them, and they will talk, and we'll create sort of dialogue between them. It went sort of viral, actually, after that. We started like before or during COVID, sort of, and Zoom was, booming over then. And things went well, but then we, started building on that. We are going to continue. we started doing courses with the collaboration of Ionia University, literary translation courses, and it went well. We created sort of, a team after that. That team that what I can talk about the result of this collaboration and Kalal, the Center of Culture and Literature, Greek and Arabic culture and literature. That team we created that I am very proud of. I mean the first. It's a small team, of course. We've been working on that from like 2 or 3 years now, and it is expanding, of course. But the fruits of this collaboration and team and teaching and literary translation is those 10 books that were translated for participating in Sharjah as a guest of honor here. Some of the our students are in the team, and I think Persa are very proud of them. And we're supporting them, of course. We're working together in many things. Most of the work, of course, we worked with me and Persa, and then we were helping, the rest of the team and all of them. So I think in the coming months and years, many books will be translated from Greek into Arabic and from, of course, Arabic into Greek. Of course, with Persa and the team that we created. Most about Kalal, of course, because we have the founder. She can talk more about it, and she deserves to.
I will give some information about Kelalp, and then Persa, you will talk about this initiative. The Center of Greek and Arabic Literature and Culture was launched in 2020 by Persa Koumouchi. It is an independent initiative that raises awareness and aims at strengthening and promoting intercultural relationships between Greek and Arabic literature and language, launching and creating many online reading events, meetings and presentations of young female writers and poets from different parts of the world, events that have received the approval and support of public institutions such as the Hellenic Foundation for Culture, my own ministry, the Hellenic Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and the General Secretary for Greeks Abroad and Public Diplomacy. Since October 2022, Kelapl has launched online courses on literary translation, Arabic-Greek, Greek-Arabic, in collaboration with the Laboratory of Language and Politics of the Ionian University. And it should be noted that Kelalp has undertaken the translation of 10 books by Arab writers into Greek within the framework of Sharjah being the guest of honor of the 20th Thessaloniki Book Fair. Persa, tell us a few things about Kelalp.
Hello. I have to say a few things. Khaled introduced you to the general idea. When I started, it was a dream that came true, but of course, it started 4 years ago with no funds at all, but our personal work. I had it as a goal in life to enhance the intercultural dialogue between the two cultures through literature, especially, because I believe literature is a very strong means. And also have young and also famous writers come to meet young and also famous Greek writers through these events, through these meetings, and hence we created the series of poetry. We started by translating here and there poetry from different parts, and then we realized that we had a huge material that Khaled utilized to translate into Arabic, and I utilized to translate into Greek. So we created a series of already 15 books with having done this work alone. Little by little, I found out that we don't have a knowledgeable generation of translators. I had worked for 30 plus years in translation, and I was trying to find a way to create such a διάδοχη κατάσταση, πώς να πω, a continuation of this work. As we don't have any Arabic studies in Greece, as we don't have any formal translation studies as far as Arabic is concerned, Ionian University, that is basically a language university, teaches all languages except Arabic. So I had a discussion with a director of the language schools, Dr. Sotiris Livas and Kendrotis, and they encouraged me to start with their own umbrella, with their own support, these series of, with the help of Khaled. I was teaching from Arabic into Greek, Khaled vice versa. Many students attended, especially from Egypt. They had it, but also from all over Greece, because they were online, so this was facilitate the process. And we are working on introducing formally the courses in the university. And this is our next goal, to introduce it as a formal lesson, our series of lessons at the University of Ionia. And this is basically the idea. It's only, as I said, not even 4 years old. It runs with no funds at all. We have one of the students here, Joanna. She can assert that it's a good job that we're doing. And also, our students, one by one, have become translators. They have produced books, and there are others to continue this work.
Little comment on that. You asked me before about the challenges, so I think the answer came, through what we talked. So the challenges of what we do was initially the motivation, because for me the biggest challenge is there are no translators actually, and there's no culture center, there's no teaching Arabic or literature in any Greek university. We don't have a department of Arabic literature. There are Islamic studies, blah 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 blah, but not like Elliniki Philologia, for example. We have in Egypt, here and there as well. So, but yeah, there are efforts, but it's not concrete, so we have to do something about that. So how do we create, how a translator is made or is created? Because the work of literary translation, it needs a set of skills that should be raised somehow. It needs studies and reading and some guidings as well. So that was a motivation, to create new translators, and I'm so glad that it is, a dream that is slowly coming true.
So since this panel takes place within the Translation Festival, I think we should conclude this conversation by highlighting the role of translators as cultural ambassadors and raise their visibility, bring them to the forefront, because I believe that nothing could have been done in this intercultural dialogue, in this deeper understanding between peoples and cultures without their presence. And I would like a short comment from all of you to conclude our panel.
Okay. Before I do that, just quite briefly, on the challenges. I think funding is a very big challenge, which is something that we need to talk about, especially that people have the perception that in the Arab world we're quite rich. It's just it's one part of the Arab world. So it's just a few of the countries. And one of the things that is lacking is the lack of concerted efforts to have a cultural hub, as Khaled was saying, and Persa, to try and translate ourselves to the other. So this is something that we need to do. Increase funding predominantly from the Arab world. They need to fund stuff to show people, you know, who we are via the use of literature. And that wouldn't happen without funding. And I do second what Persa and Khaled just said about courses. Even in the UK, in Wales, for instance, I used to work in Cardiff. In Wales, there are no Arabic programs, nothing in relation to translation. Now I work in Northern Ireland, nothing in relation to Arabic and translation. I'm probably the only specialist that does translation in Northern Ireland, but it's really not an Arabic program as such. So to conclude, I think we need a bit more funding. I think we need, actually I'll rephrase that, a lot more funding. And then I think we also need robust Arabic teaching programs and programs for translators, similar to Tahtawi in Egypt did back in the day, the School of Languages, to train translators. And we need to create collaboration opportunities, more like the initiatives that were presented here, to introduce ourselves to Europe, but also to the rest of the world.
Yeah. I will point that also that funding is very important because personal efforts sometimes expire. We are human beings, and no matter how much we love what we do, time passes, we get tired, we get exhausted, and it's not an easy task to continue like that. And of course, initiatives, small initiatives like our initiative, my initiative, and Khaled's initiative, need not only funding, but support from an organization that can utilize all this work, all this material, all this experience or expertise that we have gained to their benefits. I'm willing to work with organizations that can adopt and take even this initiative and enhance it and enlarge it. This is my dream. And that's what I was saying to Abdul Wahab and Khaled, who are my dear friends, and to me they are brothers or children. No, he's older, brothers for sure. That they will take it and do something good out of it.
Well, I couldn't have said it better than Abdul Wahab and Persa. What we do forget most of the times that, I'll talk about myself. I'm a translator. I shouldn't be doing anything else. It already takes lots of time and lots of research, lots of studying, and okay. So running here and there, looking for funds, looking for panels and initiatives, and creating initiatives, and work on that, and train translators and teach. And of course, no translator, I claim at least, translator like me, who I've been like many years in the field. You can't live on translation. Like, you have to do other jobs, You have to have other source of income. Otherwise, you are gonna be, let me not say the word. Yeah, I can use some very good bad words, but I'm not going to.
I forgot to announce something. Together with the Arabic magazine that is issued in England, Al Jadid and Al Qasida, will launch a bilingual prize, a prize that a poetry prize of both Arabic and one Mediterranean language, starting with the Greek language, and then we go to the other languages as well. And Kelal will be one of the collaborators.
Yeah, again, this is something very important that we do as well, as we do many other things. But again, I should be focusing all in translation, picking books and translating books. I'm very happy, and I do it with love, of course, because doing this, doing what we do, and for Abdullah, for example, for doing this beautiful initiative and this work, which is amazing, by the way. It takes lots of time, and it needs, of course, funding to begin with. It's funding, because if I don't need the money, the electricity needs the money, the water company needs the money, the kids need the money, and yeah, we're running out of time. So.
Yes, thank you all so much. Are there any questions before we finish our panel? So I would like to thank both of you, all three of you, sorry. I was thinking about my two friends, but Abdel is an excellent example of this promotion of Arabic literature in Europe. And I think this should be, we should show it to the world.
Thank you. And there are flyers here in case if you want.
Great.
You can scan the QR code and it will lead you to the website. Thank you, Athena.